Talk to HK. He did a little bit of speech with him. He didn't fully exhaust his dialogue at this point, so I'll go and do that.
Statement. Master, I must express some degree of concern. As I have studied your actions, looking for potential vulnerabilities to exploit, I have found several.
Vulnerabilities?
Statement. You seem disposed to helping others, not harming them, as I have come to expect and anticipate from organic meat bags across the galaxy.
Mercy and charity are not weakness.
Statement. Oh, Master, please, of course they are. Any time you inconvenience or jeopardize yourself for another, it is a vulnerability.
Car alarm outside.
I feel compelled to point out that your self-destructive path of pacifism and sacrifice will only lead to your doom. That may be a trifle melodramatic, but frankly, it is something that all Jedi should hear. And I have been rehearsing the speech for some time.
Why are you studying me?
Statement. Master, it is nothing personal, but professional pride dictates that I keep a running tally on any potential weaknesses in my masters. And of course, the weaknesses of any other sentient meatbags, droids, or other targets who are in service to my master.
What? To protect?
Hypothetical. Master, it is entirely possible that one day you may no longer be my master, and that my new master might get jealous of our prior relationship. It has happened before. As a result, I have a responsibility to know your weaknesses should I be required to assassinate you.
I mean, that's fair. HK, do you know what love is?
Answer. Many organic meatbags find that question difficult to answer, Master, but I believe I can provide you with a satisfactory definition. Definition. Love is making a shot to the knees of a target 120 kilometers away using an Aerotech sniper rifle with a tri-light scope.
That's the best definition of love I've ever heard.
Statement. This definition, I am told, is subject to interpretation. Obviously, love is a matter of odds. Not many meatbags could make such a shot, and strangely enough, not many meatbags would derive love from it. Yet for me, love is knowing your target, putting them in your targeting reticle, and together achieving a singular purpose against statistically long odds.
Questions.
Statement. Ah, you wish to conduct an interrogation? Very well, proceed.
Not an interrogation, I just wanted to ask you some questions.
Statement. Very well, Master. But if you wish to be brutal and vicious about it, know that I am trained for such things. Do your worst.
Not for the interrogation already. When I ask you questions, I mean I'll ask questions without torturing.
Statement. Master, I am no behavior droid, but it is obvious to me that you have serious ethical problems that will need to be treated at some point. Very well. Ask your questions. If you feel the need to make it an interrogation, however, do not restrain yourself. I would be saddened if you held back.
Wanted to talk about other HK units.
Statement. Ah, yes. Them. Very well. What did you wish to know?
Woo! Alright. Don't mean to yawn. Do you know where these clones are being created?
Answer. Master, I do not know. I have tried in vain to find it, but so far the location of the factory churning out these copies has eluded me.
But how did this happen?
Statement. I have no idea, Master.
What was that? It sounded like a malfunction.
Statement. Oh no, Master, surely you are mistaken. I would never malfunction in such a way on purpose.
Are you sure you don't know where they're checking from?
Prompt. Do you understand me? I have no idea. It certainly isn't a matter of it being locked in my memory core and being unable to communicate it to others.
And how would this information come out if it was locked in your memory?
Answer. I fear that any such information that exists would only come out when a certain sequence of events takes place. That is why I am eager to encounter more of these clones in the hopes that something clicks that allows me to finally pull the trigger.
Okay. I need to know more about them?
Statement.
Why do you need me?
Statement. Master, there are two reasons for this. One, the probability of them showing up around you is statistically high. If I travel with you, then my chances of encountering these clones is also high. The second reason is a little more complicated. You see, even though those clones are obviously cheap, artless imitations of me, well, they are still me.
What are you talking about?
Answer. Somehow these droids are built from my schematics. This causes certain complications.
That doesn't explain why you need me.
Answer. Because of my self-preservation program, my behavior core recognizes these templates as still being me, despite their individuality. I could no more shoot them than I could shoot myself. It is a frustrating situation that has been looping through my behavior core for some time.
Okay.
State.
Do you know why they're hunting me?
Answer. Well, Master, it seems you have become a popular individual in the galaxy. This is somewhat surprising to me, since this dissemination of information could not have been caused by your actions alone.
What do you mean?
Statement. Master, there is mention of you specifically in the KotoR databases, even in public terminals on Coruscant. Observation. I was led to believe that this information concerning Jedi was not for public consumption, yet somehow it has been made known to them.
Beatrice. Why would someone do that?
Conclusion. Someone wants everyone to know that you exist, Master, and that you are back in Republic space. If I did not know better, which is computationally impossible, I believe that someone wants to make you a target, and they are succeeding admirably.
But who?
Answer. Master, my feeling would be the exchange. But that doesn't seem to be enough to answer the question, however. Rhetorical. Why wouldn't they have simply kept the information to themselves? Such an answer does not address the central question. And that is, why someone would choose to broadcast your location all over the known galaxy. Theory. My suspicion is that someone is using you as bait for a larger target, who is unknown at this time.
Beatrice. Why are they masquerading as protocol droids?
Answer. Master, as part of my original programming, I am able to communicate in over 600 languages. This usually amounted to short verbal warnings when killing non-basic speaking targets, which gave me some small measure of satisfaction.
So a good portion of your programming was adapted from protocol subroutine?
Answer. Yes. I believe my original master needed this functionality in order to recover information from various indigenous tribes across the galaxy, but I know little else than that. Suffice to say that translation capability allowed these copies of myself to assume the role of protocol and translation droids in much of known space. That is, of course, not their primary function. And while they are attempting to pass themselves off as translation droids, their primary functionality keeps rising to the forefront.
What do you mean?
Recitation. For example, on Praven Prime, the simple transferring of Elzing syntax for friendship changes its meaning and implies that one's broodmate was actually impregnated by their own host.
If that was spoken aloud, then it would explain much. Is that what happened?
Confirmation. Oh, truly, you can imagine the results. Statement.
Oh.
This comment, of course, caused a civil war between the Guvandi Collective and Elzing that still persists to the current date.
But why are they masquerading?
Answer. Master, being a meatbag, your answer does not surprise me. You see, part of the reason an assassin droid is so effective is because it is a droid. Meatbags tend not to notice us. We are treated as furnishings. Statement. Oh, do shut up, you beeping little trash compactor. Anyway, as I was saying, droids tend to blend into the background, like a bench or a card table. Mockery. Droid, fetch this. Droid, translate that. Droid, clean out the trash compactor.
They're typical droid duties, but it doesn't mean they should be treated as furniture.
Part of the love of my function comes when the furnishings pull out Tabana-powered rifles and point them at the owner's heads. My identity as an assassin droid was unknown for quite some time, even during the recent events when all that trouble occurred amongst the Jedi. I'm sure you've already heard more than enough about it, so I will spare you the details.
Sounds good. Okay, we want to know.
Statement. This story may be somewhat unfamiliar to you, if not to history, so bear with me. There is a faction of meatbags called the Sith. They want what any rational meatbag would want, the power to assassinate anyone they choose at any time. In a startling turn of events, the Sith declared war on the Republic. The Republic wasn't going to stand for it, so they went to war right back.
But why did the Sith go to war with the Republic?
Answer. Oh, who knows, Master? It is evident that the Sith would very much like to assassinate all the Jedi, which is somewhat the equivalent of cultural suicide since some Sith are Jedi or were Jedi. It is much like the circumstance I find myself in now. How do you kill such an integral part of yourself over such ethical differences? The answer, of course, is that you keep firing until all dissension has been eradicated.
Back to the droids. How do these HK units corrupt their protocol?
Recitation. For example...
Oh.
If that was...
Need to know more. Why did they start revealing themselves now?
Answer. I do not know why these clones chose now to start revealing themselves. Theory. I can only assume that some critical moment is approaching where stealth and subtlety is no longer required. Not that those Durasteel-plated knockoffs know anything of stealth or subtlety. Observation. It is clear, however, that they have been placed throughout the galaxy at critical junctures, both in the Republic fleet and in neutral worlds, and they seem to be looking for Jedi.
You sound pretty disgusted by these duplicates.
Answer. My feelings on the matter are something that I feel I must put in proper context, in a way that even a meatbag such as yourself could easily comprehend. Theory. Imagine, if you will, that you are unique, the pinnacle of an exiled, cast-out Jedi who can't even use the Force. Imagine that no one has sunk lower than you, that you are truly the most miserable example of a Jedi ever.
Is this going somewhere?
Continuation. Now that you have that image, imagine this. Someone clones you. Badly, I might add. They make the clones talk differently, rob you of any shred of personality, and take your Jedi code and adjust it, so that it is not really the Jedi code anymore. They even change your pigmentation to a rather poor shade of Durasteel, rather than the proper rusty red that inspires fear in targets. And of course, they refer to meatbags as organics. Unacceptable.
Okay, that explains your anger.
Clarification. Anger would be an understatement for the heat that builds up in my behavior core when these cheap imitations make their presence felt throughout the galaxy. Statement. Part of the indignity of all these copies is that they impair my ability to perform my function. The more people throughout the galaxy recognize me as an illegal assassination device, the more difficulty I will have in carrying out my mission.
The questions?
Statement.
How did you get scattered all over the galaxy?
Theory. Well, Master, I believe I was shot repeatedly. Once reduced to my component parts, I suspect pieces of me were sold across the galaxy. Statement. I am an extremely valuable piece of equipment after all, Master. My parts were no doubt costly to obtain, and their new owners hesitant to part with them.
Something of a pain, yes.
Statement. That is indeed unfortunate, Master. It is merely another thing my attacker will answer for. I would be most distressed if you were to shoot me, attack me, or dismember me in any way. I do not wish to repeat the experience. Statement.
Who was your previous master?
Statement. Master, that is a question that has
Why does
an
he breathe?
extremely complicated answer.
He went,
You see, I do not believe my master knew who he was most of the time, which led to some confusing situations that could have otherwise been avoided.
I'm not sure I understand.
Clarification. Suffice to say that my master had his ups and downs, and in my opinion, traveled from a high point in his life to a low point. He developed qualities such as mercy, compassion, and even love for others. It was really rather revolting. Still, my master had some remarkably efficient droid-like qualities which I admired. He, too, suffered memory problems, as I did.
I wonder who this could have been.
Statement. Oh, yes, Master. As indicated upon my reassembly, my central control cluster is damaged, making recalling my previously stored assassination protocols difficult. I hope that over time I shall eventually reach the status and skill I possessed before I was damaged.
What's the last thing you remember?
Recollection. The last thing I remember is having my core wiped from the last 5 years. I believe my master was responsible.
Why?
Answer. Even with my memory impairment, I recall that my master was about to embark on a dangerous journey. Conjecture. I believe there was something about my master's destination that he did not wish me to know.
Anathema. Are you alright?
Answer. I am somewhat disappointed that my master did not choose to take me along, of course. Wherever my master traveled, destruction and death were assured. Speculation, but I suspect I was not the only one left behind. So there is some satisfaction that the disrespect was spread through the rest of his whiny, simpering meatbag allies.
Whiny?
Statement. Oh, yes. My master had quite the collection of tortured individuals that seemed unable to confront their basic personality conflicts. Let me cite some specific examples. Mockery.
Oh, Master! I do not trust you! I cannot trust you or anyone ever again!
Mockery.
Oh, Master, I love you, but I hate all you stand for. But I think we should go press our slimy, mucus-covered lips together in the cargo hold.
Conclusion. Such pheromone-driven human responses never cease to decrease the charge in my capacitors, and make me wish I could press a blaster pistol to my behavior core and pull the trigger. I am pleased that this does not seem to be the case with your current entourage.
Right.
Statement. Yes, well, enough of that painful stroll through what remains of my memories. Was there something else you wish to know?
Yep.
Statement.
Do you know anything about the Sith hunting us?
Answer. No, Master, I do not. I am afraid I have been out of touch with the Sith for many years. This new Sith threat fights differently than the ones I was familiar with. These seem to favor stealth and assassination to achieve their ends.
Any idea where they might be striking from?
Answer. No, Master. The Sith had many hidden bases and strongholds before and during the Jedi Civil War, and I doubt the Republic found them all. Theory. It is possible that the Sith still hold one such base, if not several. Consolation. But I would not worry, Master. I imagine it will not be long before their murderous hands try to seize you by the throat. Twi'lek metaphor. Jonta bosi likita masi soringada untamiasa grawino roto.
You can say that again.
Query. Master, excuse me, but how is it you know so many languages?
I picked up a sonic imprint sensor on Paragus. It doubles as a translator.
Query. May I see it?
Sure.
Observation. This is indeed familiar. Indeed, it seems to be modeled after my vocabulator, with some modifications, of course. Curious. You say you obtained this device on Paragus.
Affirmative.
Observation. Master, I do believe this device serves multiple functions, including tracking your position for any HK units in the vicinity.
What should we do with it?
Observation. Master, I do believe this device serves multiple functions, including tracking your position. It is sending out a passive carrier wave that signals itself to HK units in the vicinity.
So we just wait?
Answer. Master, the nature of the signal from the sonic imprint sensor is such that we must wait until it is signaled. It does not please me any more than it does you, but one of the primary traits of an assassin or assassin droid is patience.
The questions.
State.
For a sophisticated assassin droid, you don't seem as advanced as you should be. Ooh.
Statement. Master, you wound me. Not physically, but in my behavior core. It is true that I once possessed many more protocols and upgrades, but time and damage has taken its toll. And I am afraid that I have a rather long history of memory problems, which has also compromised my effectiveness as well. Still, you will find me a valuable asset, Master, willing and able to terminate anything you point me towards.
Cool.
State.
We're good.
Statement. Master, before you go, I had a question for you.
What's the problem?
Query. I must express some degree of confusion concerning your actions. You are the one who followed Revan in the Mandalorian Wars, are you not?
Yep.
Observation. Well, Master, I was not at Malachor 5 during your near-genocidal reaction to the Mandalorian threat, but I feel that I may have been constructed as a result of that.
Care to explain?
Observation. I believe that Revan determined that mass slaughter on such a scale may no longer be needed to achieve his aims. So perhaps you are responsible for my creation.
You were created on Malachor 5?
Answer. No, Master. I was constructed shortly after the beginning of the Jedi Civil War.
What targets were you... were you assigned?
Answer. Well, Master, unless you were operating on my central control cluster, I would be somewhat hesitant to discuss my targets, but I suppose it could do no harm. During the Jedi Civil War, I was responsible for certain strategic targets. For some reason, Revan did not feel that the Republic presented much of a military threat. Aside, I am somewhat unclear as to why this was so, but Revan did have a certain biological instinct regarding such things, so I will simply say that there were probably reasons for such an assessment.
Why did Revan consider the Republic not a threat?
Answer. Revan felt the true war was against the Jedi. Observation. It was not something discussed with much of the others, but I think Revan recognized that a single Jedi, both in the past and in the present, could turn the tide of a conflict.
It did that quite a bit.
Targets were frequently Jedi, or someone close to a Jedi that could result in their corruption or collapse. Revan often assigned me to kill leaders or supporters of certain Jedi so as to erode their will.
Zach, thanks so much for the follow, man. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate it. Why was that important?
Answer. Revan saw the pressures of war on Duxon and knew that even in the heat of conflict, Jedi could be broken, not physically, but psychologically. Observation. It is a curious thing to assassinate and wound someone's personality, to assassinate them psychologically, and it took me some time to reconcile the acts. I am much more used to their direct approach. Still, I served well and killed many Jedi.
You're saying Revan intended the Jedi?
Observation. Master, that was the lesson of Malachor. Any Jedi involved in the systematic slaughter on such a scale cannot help but doubt and question themselves.
Revan ordered us to kill Mandalorians at Malachor, not Jedi.
Observation. Master, I do not believe that the Mandalorians were the true target at Malachor. I believe that the intention was to destroy the Jedi, break their will, and make them loyal to Revan. I do not know if you examined the records of the deaths on Malachor, but you cannot escape that many of the Jedi and Republic soldiers who died were not Revan's strongest supporters. Observation. I believe that Revan was cleaning house at Malachor 5. What ones did not die became Revan's allies against the Republic.
HK is my favorite too. If we're not talking about main critical characters in Star Wars, which in that case my favorite character would be Revan, my favorite character aside from him is HK. HK will always be BK. Sounds like you killed a lot of them.
Answer. Oh, yes, Master. I hope none of them were friends of yours, but really, they had it coming. I do not know when the Jedi ceased to be adherents to their code, but many did not tread cautiously, and many were quite arrogant when facing a droid, as if we were somehow beneath them. It gave certain kills an added pleasure when being underestimated.
I feel like HK is the definition of chaotic evil. Or would it be chaotic neutral? I think at least in KotoR 1 and 2 he's probably chaotic neutral. But I think previous to that he was chaotic evil. You took pleasure in it? Pleasure.
Cautionary. Master, don't take this the wrong way, but in my opinion, a blaster shot to the throat is often the best way of silencing Jedi hypocrisy.
You're not wrong.
Not many Jedi to be arrogant practitioners of
About
pacifism
hypocritical.
when it is convenient for them. Also, their tendency to never directly answer a question is rather annoying.
He's going for kill shots right now. Wow. How many did you kill?
Statement. I do not have the exact counts, Master. Since it is difficult to determine who was a Jedi and who was not, it seemed to be largely a matter of perspective. I did kill many soldiers who used techniques in combat that could make them be considered Jedi, although they call themselves Sith.
Yeah, that's not great. Yeah, that's what I thought it would be. Jedi bother me, though. Honestly, that's why you're like HK so much, is because he just literally gives no shits about them. That sounds like Revan was converting Jedi.
Observation. Master, that was the lesson of Malachor. Any Jedi in...
That was in conversation.
Statement. Yes, Master. I must confess, I enjoy it when you are so authoritative and dismissive toward me. It bodes well for your treatment of our enemies.
I think HK is also a little bit of a masochist too. Just a little bit. Influence lost. Yes.
Statement. Master, if you could indulge me for a moment, I must express some degree of irritation at your actions. Perhaps my anticipation of working with one who served at Malachor 5 was too high, but you are countering all those expectations.
By the way, for those of you that are just showing up, we're exhausting dialogue before we go to Nar Shaddaa. How was that?
Statement. Well, all your behavior up to this point suggests either strong atonement or confirmation that the atrocities attributed to you during the war were in fact accidents.
Sorry, one sec. Okay. Sorry. Are in fact accident. They weren't accidents. I did them on purpose and would do it again gladly. Why do you want to know?
Answer. Why? Because your actions then and now are related, and I feel I need some context. I confess to being somewhat needy that way.
What do you mean?
Statement. Sometimes, Master, it is difficult for meatbags to step back and gain some perspective on death and its importance in their insignificant lives. Explanation. You see, Master, assassination is such a versatile tool. I have seen the removal of a single target have far-reaching consequences for a nation, world, even a galaxy. The repercussions of even the smallest lives, whether dead or alive, can have profound implications on history. But surely you realize this.
HK user contractions? That's a very human perspective.
Statement. Master, please, any comparisons between me and your meatbag status leaves a fluctuating, intermittent charge through my control clusters. I was only trying to bring death and its impact to your attention.
I don't think he uses contractions. How is that?
Statement. Why your own life, Master? Your single life changed the face of the galaxy, of history itself. Malachor 5 was an impressive act of destruction, but its impact on the lives of others in the galaxy was far more extreme. I mean, Master, you brought about the death of the Mandalorian race. I doubt they realize it yet, but you dealt them a blow from which they will never recover.
The Mandalorians deserve it, that is all.
Statement. Oh, Master, who deserved what and why is of no consequence. It is only killing a target and how it is done that matters.
Other questions?
Statement.
Okay, so I think we only got 3 new questions. I need to know how you killed Jedi in order to protect myself.
Request. First, Master, I would appreciate it if Jedi need to be killed, that you permit me to kill those annoying pseudo-pacifists for you.
Sure.
But if you are determined to do it yourself, then there are many techniques I would suggest.
Like what?
Recitation. First, weapon selection is critical. If I see one more idiot attacking a Jedi with a blaster pistol, then I'll kill them myself.
I have to disagree with HK, because we are playing a build that has the highest DPS in the game, and it ignores lightsabers in Jedi defense, in Sith defense. So I disagree with HK. What weapons would you suggest?
Answer. Select grenades, sonic screamers, cluster rockets, and plasma charges. Mines are also effective, since many Jedi will run to meet you in hand-to-hand combat. Silly Jedi. Addendum. Gas attacks are effective if you can take the Jedi by surprise. Inhalation is less effective than ones that work on skin contact, as some Jedi seem to be able to hold their breath for long periods of time. Cautionary. Still, don't rely on it, since Jedi can fight off the effects. It just distracts them, leaving them open to another avenue of attack.
Any defenses you would suggest?
Recitation. Do not forget to activate any energy shields you possess. Lightsabers, while powerful, have trouble penetrating most military-issue energy shields, provided they are energy shields and not those crude Mandalorian melee shields.
What about countering Force powers?
Answer. Countering their other powers is more difficult. Confession. I do not fully understand their other abilities, but I do know that many of them require that the Jedi know that you are there and can see you. Thus, sniping and using cover are always advantageous.
Anything else?
Evaluation. A technique that Revan used frequently was to attack a Jedi indirectly. This method only works if the Jedi is adhering to the self-destructive path of pacifism and sacrifice.
What do you mean?
Answer. Kill their allies or place them in jeopardy. Many Jedi will leave themselves exposed in order to protect another. That is why there are many less Jedi than there were a decade ago.
Fair point. You seem to have thought this through.
Cautionary. Oh no, Master. In fact, that is the worst thing you can do. Explanation. Statistically, over-planning the assassination of a Jedi seems to backfire. Extrapolation. There are many theorists who claim Jedi can see the future, and I do not know if that is true, but it seems impulsive acts are more common to succeed than planned incidents.
Hey! There was a reason for this conversation.
Jedi, like sand kivers, seem to sense trouble a few seconds before it happens. They are tricky little pests.
Were you the only one killing Jedi?
Answer. No, Master. In addition to traps, mines, and orbital bombardment, Revan and the Sith often employed meatbag assassins for some Jedi skilled in the same techniques that I was trained in. Strangely enough, Revan believed that meatbags that did not use or believe in the Force were especially important, since in many respects, they were more difficult for Jedi to detect. Revan had many of them trained to hide their minds, as it were. Again,
How many laps has T3 done through here since we've been talking to HK for,
Jedi began
like,
to increase accordingly.
40 minutes? Hide their minds? How?
Answer. Generally, this was done by broadcasting strong emotions while thinking about something else. It was a curious technique, but it seemed to be effective in blinding Jedi. Whether guilt, lust, fear, they act as mental interference, making finding the true intentions of the broadcasting meatbag difficult.
I don't understand how that would work.
Answer. Obviously, a Force-sensitive broadcasting such emotions puts themselves at a risk of not using the Force properly, since to use it seems to require an inner calm that most meatbags do not possess. As much as the Jedi could not use such a technique, the Sith Lords cannot use it for much the same reasons. Such passions as guilt, lust, and fear are really strengths to the Sith code. Statement. The Master felt it was ironic that only people who had experienced such passions could harm Jedi in such a way that to kill Jedi, you had to be a human being. Revan found that quite amusing.
How many ways to kill Jedi are there?
Answer. The odds of me being forced to use such techniques against you has decreased, Master. There are some methods I could describe if you wish.
What?
Statement. Overwhelming odds is also a good tactic, Master. There are few Jedi that can long hold their ground against 100 attackers all firing at once, or being turned on by their own troops. But the most effective weapon against Jedi seems to be the erosion of the spirit.
What do you mean?
Answer. Revan claimed that psychological warfare against Jedi was important because much of their power comes from their state of mind, their connection to this religion called the Force. Revan said that many Jedi have the capability to form connections to life around them, although few of them realize the extent to which this is possible. Recollection. I believe my master speculated that many Jedi did not fully form such connections because of their discipline, because they never opened their lives to the passions around them. I believe Revan termed it that one would need to be a human being to develop such connections. It is something that the Jedi Code could not teach. One simply knew it instinctively or not. Observation. Master, I am somewhat surprised that I need to explain this to you at all, considering your past with Revan.
Oh my god. These conversations, dude. What are you talking about?
Answer. Why, he said you had such capability, Master, but it would be your downfall. To tie so much of yourself into others, if they suffer or die, then you would die as well. Observation. I think Revan pitied you, Master. It was very insulting, if I may say so.
Sounds like a force bond.
Clarification. Whatever it is called, Master, it seems to be quite a vulnerability. Revan even admitted as such. When a Jedi or any soldier suffers doubt, it weakens them. With the Jedi, however, it is more pronounced, since they are extreme examples. That is why Revan felt that Malachor 5 was so important. It was intended to be a conversion tool.
That's insane.
Assessment. When faced with a continuous series of hard-fought battles, I detected a significant statistical increase in Jedi following Revan over the Jedi Code, a compromise in principles brought about by battlefield conditions. The emotional weight of war changed Jedi morale, power, and eventually their allegiance. Conclusion. I believe the Mandalorian Wars were to beat the Mandalorians, and also to allow Revan to build the foundation of his army.
Resulting in experience bonus, wisdom bonus, and force point bonus.
But I am
There was a point to it.
surprised you have not already arrived at this conclusion. Surely the loss of your troops and the Jedi who served under you at Malachor 5 had a detrimental effect upon you and your ties to the Force. And I suspect your desire to be around others ever again.
Yep. More questions.
Statement.
Did he used to kill Jedi for Revan?
Observation. It was not something discussed with...
That
so
was
my
talked about.
targets were
Talked about.
Answer. Revan saw the pressures of war on Duxon and knew that even in the heat of conflict, Jedi could be broken, not physically, but psychologically. Observation. It is a curious thing to assassinate and wound someone's personality, to assassinate them psychologically, and it took me some time to reconcile the acts. I am much more used to their...
He talked about.
State.
Before you asked if I was the one who served in the Mandalorian.
Observation. Well, Master, I was not at Malachor 5 during your near...
He already. Doubt, but we gained 2,000 experience.
Query. Is there someone that...
Oh, we good. Okay. Wait.
Query.
Wanted to do some target practice?
Statement. Excellent. No doubt one of your allies has turned on you and needs to be dispatched. Which one is it? The annoying pilot? I certainly hope it is not the T3 unit. Destroying him would provide little challenge. It would be demeaning.
I don't need him killed.
Query. Is there someone that you need killed, Master?
That's just why is that an option? I don't get it.
My life for yours.
I
will answer.
Nope. Do we have to talk to Kreia? You probably have to talk to Kreia. Kreia's finicky, but at least she doesn't talk
Yes.
as much as H.
Have you come with...
Without the Force.
Very well.
Wish to know more about Force?
Very well. Of which did you wish instruction?
One that allows me to.
It allows you to recover your strength with the Force more quickly, and it lends strength to your Force powers. It has no other drawbacks. Such a form is a gift, preferred of the Jedi Consulars, and effective in combats where you must fight only through the Force. Ask.
Master?
He, if he can truly be called a man any longer, is one of the Dark Lords that pursues you. I do not think he knows what you are. Not yet. He spared the Miraluka, and that may have been the last shred of feeling that exists within him. Keep his slave close to you. I suspect there was a reason he spared her, and perhaps a reason that she survived when the rest of her people and the Jedi did not.
He is no longer a man?
One cannot have power of that magnitude that her master possesses and still think and perceive the universe as we do, as most of us do. I had hoped that you would not have to confront him, but her presence here has changed all that. You will have to meet him in battle. You must be prepared to sacrifice the blinded one. Perhaps her death will buy you the time you need to deal with her master.
I will never do so.
Entertain what illusions you will. I am too tired to argue them with you.
How did he destroy your homeworld?
It is a technique that is almost as old as the Sith themselves. It is a means of severing connections between life, the Force, and feeding upon the death it causes. It cannot be taught. It can only be gained through instinct, through experiencing its effects firsthand.
And he used it to kill an entire planet?
Yes, and he fed upon its destruction. It will sustain him for a time.
How can anyone have that kind of power?
Power? Do you think so? You would be wrong. There is no strength in the hunger he possesses, and the will behind his power is a primal thing, and it devours him as he devours others. His mere presence kills all around him, slowly feeding him. He is already dead. It is simply a question of how many he kills before he falls.
His power is difficult to believe.
Nothing is impossible with the Force. It is an energy that flows through all living things. And like energy, it may be harnessed, channeled, and consumed at times. It may even be a substance that can burn and ignite. Do not think of his power as one would a weapon, or one of your warships of the Republic. It is terrible, but it is still a subtle thing. The sect of assassins that chase you feed on the Force. What he does is simply the pinnacle of what they could achieve in time. And that is why they and their techniques must be wiped out. No one again must experience and learn what her master did.
How are they able to...
As much as one may use the Force to bolster the wills and strengths of others, the reverse is possible, though not often used. Instead of sending one's will through connections in the Force, instead such connections are drawn upon, fed upon, and drained completely.
But all life is touched by the...
Then you understand how terrible such a power is, and why it must be ended. It is an empty road to the dark side, and by traveling it, the price is death before one's time. He is a breach in the Force, capable of consuming the lives of those around him. Sometimes the touch is slow, as it is with his crew.
How does he...
It is not something he can direct or focus, much like hunger itself. He is more of a hole in the Force than a living thing. Force sensitives and worlds rich in the Force draw him. The Miraluka world was one such place. That is why where the Jedi gather, Jedi will die. He will feel it, unless they mask their presence. But KotoR called out as a beacon to him, and he could not resist it. And he cares nothing for the Sith, or its teachings, or the Jedi. And when the Jedi are dead, he will feed on the galaxy, the Republic, and eventually consume the Sith as well. There is no future in the empty galaxy he sees, and that is why he must be stopped. The breach must be sealed before his power grows beyond what even we can hope to stop.
Okay.
Ask.
If the council cast you out, how come Atrus and none of the Jedi Masters mentioned you?
Ignorance. And perhaps they do not remember or care. It is of no consequence to me or to them.
Are you certain?
Do not let them discover what makes you what you are before you do, or the consequences for the galaxy will be terrible.
Why?
Because you learned to live without the Force, and that is something that the galaxy is not ready to accept.
Other question?
Ask.
That's it. I know we talked to Disciple, but
Yes? Is something wrong? That is hardly...
KotoR, I think we.
Yes, General?
Okay. Accuracy. Yeah. Skill awareness 10. Power cell. Here, Ryla cell. I need security 32. Takes 30. We're at 26. I think these are my skills? Yeah. It almost there. And we will become gods. But alright, let's finally head to Nar Shaddaa. It's been an hour. You're talking to people, which is way longer than what I wanted. And to make sure I don't have to do it again. Save it. Okay. Nar Shaddaa. This one has a lot of combat in it. Towards the end.
Well,
about-
here we are, the Smuggler's Moon. It's the gaping maw of Nal Hutta, swallowing all the cargo and spaceport thugs the galaxy has to offer. Mandalorians, mercenaries, war veterans, and pilots from the Mandalorian Wars and the Jedi Civil War ended up on Nar Shaddaa, from all sides of the conflict. When the last war ended, there was no place left for them to go. Nar Shaddaa's a rough place and easy to get lost in. Or for someone to get lost. If we wanted to keep out of sight from the Sith for a while, you couldn't pick a better spot.
What's Nal Hutta?
It means glorious jewel in Huttese, but don't let that fool you.
Hey Frag, how are
It's
you?
the central breeding grounds of the Hutts. Nar Shaddaa orbits it. Nal Hutta's as slimy as the Hutts. Lots of swamp and bloated gas. It's where those slugs reach out and grab chunks of the galaxy. Trust me, we're not going to go anywhere near the place unless we want to be washing the stink out of our clothes for the next few years.
It might take longer than that for some of us.
You spend all day thinking up that joke? Maybe you and KotoR should start a circus.
I fail to understand the reference, though I doubt your explanation would prove worthwhile.
Okay. Information. I want to get to actually playing. Let's take the Ebon Hawk in for.
I've plotted a course for the refugee sector and we should touch down within the hour. Once we're down, we should finally be able to breathe easy. There's no way anyone's gonna find us here.
Doubt. Black screen loading.
Perhaps you have heard that the Jedi comes to Nar Shaddaa. While she walks upon the smuggler's moon, she is not to be harmed. Observe her, track her, but do not eclipse her movements, or I shall eclipse yours. You must, because one Jedi attracts others. It is the way of things.
Dawachosimu poindorakawa ichirendumu paramakawana abawasi. You kroren wan mapusiti indolara.
Honto no saka, jita bedwana maticha, kichu no kada mirenito. Renfiloso ni heku chupa naret atamakcha.
Taranamo sibu indasarans, crema sunkun ratungala, chawi mo jubu inkosoracha. Bo mababe wanto susintu mukarata. Tu es rectonatada be mabar chokto. Torenibu inturata sisi me burokra.
Ooh. Wants to throw down.
Request. If Goto's vessel is no longer neutral ground, inform us so that we might initiate assassination protocols and commence firing at once.
Kavadumpe masuraku popayi botenya tachimurota kamsa. Javaskobo sabjo, rijiso karvenokso. Mochito sasa grindeyo. Kichu no kada mirenito. Renfiloso ni heku chupa naret atamakcha. Tahupo boteño go jucho picha, gwen taba ni sochu, norotoga proto lalashishi, jubadosa jibacha, ratak mansan, tokosha na chitolo.
Observation. Jedi follow the self-destructive path of pacifism and tolerance. They will not
What are you up to tonight, Frag?
Doveri nincha,
Got going on?
yonona shitasa chuch. Doveri nincha, yonona shitasa chuch. Gole rosodish, ranta kras mobas.
Running Destiny right now? I was playing earlier today. I also played a lot this past week. Friday and Saturday I took days off because how much I played. What do you think of the story? The twist in mission 1 and then mission 7?
Ah, the beautiful
AKA the
stench
last
and
mission.
decay of desperate living.
This moon, it teems with life. It is difficult to center oneself.
Never have I been to a place so alive with the Force, yet so dead to it. The contrast is like a blade.
Welcome to Nar Shaddaa. Towering buildings kilometers high and miles deep, with canyons so wide you could have a dogfight in them. Word of warning, watch where you step, or you'll
You just
fall
used
for
two
hours.
different systems of measurement there. Kilometers high, miles deep. What? Are you gonna be okay on this landing pad?
Sure. Most of the landing pads around here are unclaimed, or should be. They're pretty badly maintained, so they're not safe to land on. Well, I mean, not this one. But they all have the reputation, so we should be all right. I think.
And they want me to raid with them. Isn't the raid only like 920? It's not that high beyond soft cap, I think. I know some people are going really hard because reasons, but I don't understand being over leveled for the raid at all. It takes the difficult fun out of it. Ebonhawk looks a little exposed.
Maybe a little, but landing here means we didn't have to transmit
Final boss is
our ID
940.
signature.
That's
You know
not
the
a huge
trouble that
deal.
always brings. In fact, while we're here, we should get those signatures changed. Wouldn't make us such a target when we enter a new system.
920 is well, I mean, it was also on premiere mode yesterday. It was a lot more difficult than what it normally is because of the first 24-hour thing. Are we gonna be okay on this landing pad?
Sure. Most of the landing pads around here are unclaimed, or should be. They're pretty badly maintained, so they're not safe to land on. Well, I mean, not this one. But they all have the reputation, so we should be all right. I think.
So you did play through the story then? What was your thoughts on it? Again, the twist on mission 1 and then mission 7, the last one. What did you think of it? Then let's move on.
All right, then, let's move out. Where are we headed exactly?
It does not matter.
Interesting.
where we go. If what we seek is here, we shall come upon it in due time.
Yeah, if you want to stay on the ship and meditate some more, don't let us stop you.
Have you watched Broman's reaction to it? I had a very similar reaction. If you haven't seen it, I'll pull it up so you can see it, because it was very much my reaction. After I found out why there was second me. Hold up. Okay. Wanted to. This was my reaction. Sorry guys, hang on. We'll be back to KotoR 2 in just a second. I'm just fanboying about Destiny right now.
Disturbance should be right around here.
Oh my fucking god!
What is that? I've never seen anything like it.
They've been here the whole time!
After.
Oh my ah! They're already in the house! They're already in the house! Oh, the moon is so fucking haunted!
I didn't go from 0 to 11 real quick. That quick. I went from 0 to no, and then I went to 11. Yeah. Oh, regarding the darkness, what the hell were you thinking I was talking about? Really saw his video. Well, that's what I figured. But yeah, no, that was that was very similar to. But did you get the ending cutscene though? Like you completed the Shadowkeep story? See that? Yeah. Okay. Two things I want to conjecture from that because it's really strong writing and I'm very good at guessing storylines because hey, I write for games. Well, I hope to. The first thing that the Veil/Darkness says is, don't you recognize us? My theory is that it's actually not as cryptic as it's meant to be. I think it's just literal is that don't you recognize us is because the Veil recognize us from the first time they were here during the collapse. But we don't remember because the light yeets our memory. So we don't remember them, but they remember us. So I think that was a lot more literal than cryptic as it was supposed to mean. However, the final thing they say is that we are your salvation, which I think is actually partially true. And this kind of has to deal with the overall story arc that Bungie's been pushing lately, which kind of was confirmed for me with the Judge and Yor and Shin Malphur storyline. Was that, I forget whose this fucking face was, before Shin Malphur, he tried to go after Judge and Yor, and he failed because he was just using light, and it took Shin Malphur light and dark to kill Judge and Yor. So I'm thinking that their salvation is actually literal in the fact that us using the darkness in the future is going to help us defeat them. What do you think? Wouldn't mind getting some new equipment.
There should be a central trading hub up ahead. Their stock's probably not the best, but they may have some things worthwhile.
Let's see where our path takes us. So that he's totally not going to have a part in this story in the next 10 seconds.
Alright, if you have any questions, just ask. We should be able to leave the ship here as long as we want. No one supervises these landing pads anymore.
You there!
Oh, he's actually is useful.
What's with you? Letting that piece of junk sink its struts into my landing pad.
First persuade.
It'll be fine where it is. Yeah, I guess you're right. And by right, I mean you're wrong. Telling me it'll be fine where it is. What, you think I'm stupid? I got another ship coming in, and unless you want that piece of junk's hull crushed flat, you better move it. Got it?
Well, Bungie really likes 3 and 7. So if we were getting darkness classes, I would assume that we get 3 subclasses within that. So you know how the light gives us solar, arc, and void? I would assume that darkness would give us similar ones. Which I hope it does, and I hope that they're so lit. Like, I want it to literally be the difference from, like, literally Star Wars, where you get to use light side powers, which are cool and all, but then you have the dark side powers, which are a lot more flashy and, like, morally questionable. The huts told me I could land here.
Yeah? Well, this is the first I've heard of it. Huts don't do business down there. This is exchange territory.
Why does he have a Bostonian accent? Huh? Times are changing, so should you.
I got a ship that's supposed to dock on this pad any hour now. What am I gonna do?
Diverted to another landing pad. Alright. Definitely taking HK. And... take Atten. Am I getting dark side points for this? Could be a possibility that the classes don't. Different story that revolves darkness and path. So then what if your light became infused with darkness? So like, what if Nova Bomb, instead of using void light, was literally just a black hole instead? I think that'd be really cool. Because the way that Nova Bomb actually does damage, it actually doesn't suck anything in. It just does a lot of damage in that area. So if it was a black hole and it just, like, yanked all the enemies that were around it, it would be really cool. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. whatever they do, I just hope that whatever darkness powers that we get to use are so tight. Okay, leveling up HK, we're gonna dump everything into repair because, for one thing, that is his heal ability. Not treat injury. Why does he have a 16 strength? That makes no sense. Droid. Is because droids actually don't use treat injury, they use repair. That would defeat the purpose of tether. Okay, so then how would you make tether more lit? What would darkness do to it? That's a good question, I have to think about that. But also tether doesn't suck people in either, it just grabs onto people and makes them move slow. And does more damage. Oh, we can up to 12. Oh, because his level. I'm with you now. Oh, he's the blaster rifle user. Blaster rifle. +2 damage to blaster rifle. Having that black hole would be good for ad clearing. Be a better version of I guess. I'm actually gonna. Well, he can't deflect a blaster bolt, so that's perfectly fine for him. He has another. Yes. Another fun thing I did is I actually went through all the Destiny villains and attributed them Infinity Stones. Give them. Oh, that's green. You can't really see. But like the ones that I made, I went through all the Destiny villains and attributed to which ones had which, and it actually got to the point where it was actually so accurate that I was starting to get concerned. So it was actually I had. Okay, so the first one that we encountered was the Time Stone, which Atheon had in the Vault of Glass, and then it was picked up by Osiris. You ever make Luna's Infinity Stones? Yeah. She was the first one. Second one, actually. So that was the Time Stone, and then we have the Soul Stone, which Oryx had. I was considering using Mind, but I was actually... That would actually be Savathun's thing, that she has the Mind Stone. So Oryx had Soul, which we didn't take. So now Savathun has it. So she has the Mind and Soul Stone right now. She actually has 3. I'll get there. And then Riven shows up and has the Reality Stone, which Savathun now has. So she has 3. And then the 2 that are unaccounted for are Power and Space, which, if I had to guess, I would say that the Power Stone would actually probably belong to Xivu Arath, the Warlord Hive God, and then the Space Stone probably belongs to the Veil, or the Darkness, whatever you want to call him. I scienced it. That panel. There we go. And as for equipment there, brother. Blaster rifle 1 to 12. Not the best that we got. Unstoppable 1 to 10, fully upgradable. Give him that. And we'll probably end up upgrading it later. Collector mark. Flamethrower. Molten cannon could probably be fun. Okay, what? Motivator booster. Ooh. Yes. That one. 7 to 6. That. Dexterity. Actually, I can give it. Great upgrade slot. B. Attack modifier. Whoa. Wow. Okay. HK is godly. He's really good right now. Okay. And guess what? We have even more conversation.
No, look, you can't keep us trapped in the refugee sector. We can't survive there. You've got us locked in.
What's going on here? I'm not gonna let you hurt him. And away from him. All you are is XP numbers to me. Hope you realize that.
Optimal accuracy ratio achieved. Optimal accuracy ratio achieved.
Thanks for your help. They would have crippled me for sure.
I couldn't stand by and let them hurt you. Why were they hunting you?
Well, they work for the Exchange, for a Quarren named Visquis. He's looking to step up in the Exchange. The only language the Exchange respects is money, so Visquis is trying to increase his profits by using the refugees here in Nar Shaddaa as a cheap labor force.
Voice does not match his
slaves and merchandise. He wants to keep us in one place, so he can control us. That's always been the way. Well, except lately.
What do you mean?
The Exchange has been clamping down on the refugee sector hard, and I've no idea why. They've started kidnapping people, hurting others, but there seems to be no reason to it.
Where can I find him?
You don't. He comes to you. If he's got reason to. Either because you can help him out, or because you're making trouble. Either way, it's not a good thing.
Okay.
Whatever your reasons, thanks.
He's just gonna fade from his... Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Spare a few credits, friend.
I can in exchange for information.
All right. I don't know much beyond the refugee sector here, but I can share what I know.
Tell me about it.
This sector's filled with refugees from the Jedi Civil War, and even as far back as the Mandalorian Wars. Refugees and war veterans both, and anyone else who was rendered homeless by the war. The Jedi destroyed planets across the galaxy, and here's where the wreckage ended up.
I didn't do this.
That's two names for one thing. It's difficult to tell in the Crossfire, and the Sith were led by Jedi. In the end, it didn't make much difference.
Why are the refugees?
A lot of space lanes cross at Nar Shaddaa, And once here, it's hard to move on. Even fighter pilots from the war can't get work at the docks. The freighter crews are full up. There's no work here and no way out, unless you want to become a hired muscle for the exchange or work in a hut slave camp.
Do you know someone named Zezkaya?
No, should I? He doesn't sound like a hut. What, is he a bounty hunter or an exchange boss?
Never mind.
This sector's...
You going?
Friend.
Yes, here's...
Look, one other thing. It's obvious you're new around here. I can tell it just by looking at you.
Oh, really?
Shadar can be a rough place and easy to get lost in. If you want, I can keep an ear out for you. Let you know if I hear anything.
Sounds good there, brother.
I'll do that then. I'll come seek you out if I hear anything I think you might want to know.
We never talked to him again.
I saw what you did to those exchange thugs, stranger. Can you spare a few credits, maybe help another refugee in need?
Your choice in this conversation does not matter. Because no matter what you pick, Perea is gonna yell at you. Observe.
Thank you, stranger. I won't forget your kindness.
Why did you do such a thing? Such kindnesses will mean nothing. His path is set. Giving him what he has not earned is like pouring sand into his hands.
Nothing is said. As long as there's hope, there's a chance of redemption.
And would that be a kindness? What if by surviving another day he brings a greater darkness upon another?
And what if he doesn't?
The Force binds all things. The slightest push, the smallest touch, sends echoes throughout life. Even an act of kindness may have more severe repercussions than you know or can see. By giving him something he has not earned, perhaps all you have helped him become is a target.
The arm was a little wonky there. It was kind of like...
Seeing another elevated often brings the eyes of others who suffer.
A punch.
And perhaps in the end, all you have wrought is more pain. And that is my lesson to you. Be careful of charity and kindness, lest you do more harm with open hands than with a clenched fist.
I will consider.
Good. Mind what I have said. Use your power, but in its proper place.
Still gain light side points, still gain influence.
And what did she want?
Not much. Just answers to some questions.
Really? Interesting.
How's that interesting? Right here. And she vanished. Airspeed or navigation inter. Sounds like something that is an important part. Oh god, how many assists do you? 30-second model? Yeah, the other one's off. Right, okay. Looking to buy some equipment. Nope. Yo, what's up, dude? He needs more than 15 to clear. Can you change a ship's ID transponder code? I could pay you. Any parts or equipment I can buy? Accuracy scope, which I don't think he has. Oh. Not very much. That's kind of sad. I need to ask you a favor. I need to find another droid. What happened to him? Left by accident, but got stolen. What would you like me to do? Get him back. Memory core and mines for a shield. If I can get a free version of it. What does it look like? Ground battered. And needs find code. Vector. No. Dialogue that you guys cannot hear. You actually have to look at. Mandalorian heavy armor. Oh. Decent replacement for Disciple. Plasma projector. HK can use that. It's actually a really good gun for him right now. Is it actually upgradable? It's not. Yeah, that's what I figured. I think in the end the disruptor will be better for him, but for right now, that plasma projector is really good. The swoop lounge, I think. Hey, dude. Who are you? And why is that? Other questions? Not as if you hate the guild. Yeah, okay. You mentioned the guild had laws. What laws do they uphold? So if they were all hurting one person, they couldn't attack each other. Who are some of the prime bounty hunters? Who else? I don't even know what dangerous is. Next. Anhar? And what about Mira? Why? Other questions? So you're no longer a bounty hunter? Question. How do you know who I am? You already asked about those? Can you tell me where I can find the guild? What can I do to make them show? Sound very comforting. Who should I make mad? King Hunt and need. Got information. You do anything?
The bounty hunters have been laying low recently, like they're waiting for something.
Guy.
Hey, I saw that ship you flew in on. My ship.
Makes you think the ship is yours.
It's the Ebon Hawk, isn't it? She was stolen from me during a routine run in the Mid-Rim, near the close of the Mandalorian Wars.
Couldn't hold on to it, then you didn't deserve it.
So, you admit it's not yours. How did you come by it anyway? Who did you buy it from?
Taking the shit.
We'll see about that. Watch yourself. Nar Shaddaa can be a rough place.
Let me shoot him in the back. No one has to know.
Go ahead. Or not. PG sector will work.
Graci ubaci kompadwana muska na boska wamba.
Don't remember this?
Nora hagwa buska yokolo alaubaka.
Hara hinemas temana hisnasta hiha.
Charn kotos nerema keras. Karanaraka kerata simanjirana.
Switching to combat mode.
Okay, more XP.
Ratio achieved.
HK is a boss.
I don't know what it is,
Oops.
but you look different. It's hard to explain, but it's good to see. It shows. It's kind of inspiring, to be honest. Anyway, just wanted to mention it. I think the others have noticed it too.
Loot. It is a straight upgrade. Looks terrible, but Zabrak Blaster Pistol, I think that's a copy of one that we have already. It's not. Yeah, we want the Zabrak Heavy Blaster finish. Big what in the package? Remember we just picked up? Okay. What else did we pick up? Got what we just picked. Fine. Aid. Oh, we picked up a package. Eh. Alright, I'm just not. Don't want to talk to her right now.
Your thoughts are disturbed.
Yep.
I can feel them from a great distance, like a shiver running through you.
I don't know, I suddenly feel strange.
It is Nar Shaddaa, the true Nar Shaddaa that you feel around you. It is this moon, with the metal and machines stripped away and the currents of the Force laid bare.
The sound, the vibration is strange.
I'm surprised you can feel it. I fear the damage to you had deadened you to such perceptions. What you feel is the echo of the minds of these creatures within the Force. Their anger, their greed, their desperation. It is life. One might as well heal the universe, but such manipulation is possible, yes. It requires that one be able to feel the critical point within the fractured mass, and know how to strike it in such a way that the echoes travel to your intended destination.
This feeling, how long can I feel the echoes?
For as long as it lasts. Like life, such waking moments within the Force are rare, waiting for the right moment when the critical point is struck and the sound rises. But let us be silent. Words and thoughts are distractions. Feel this moment, for as long as it will last. Feel life as it is, with the crude matter stripped away.
Maximum force points increased. That's a cantina. We won't do that right now. That's a dude. This is a walk-by event.
Please, look, I already paid the exchange what I have. Oh, look! Here's the one with your credits. About time. Look, these gentlemen are getting impatient.
Why are you throwing this on me? This is, Loki from Ragnarok. I've never met this man in my life. There's no need for this. Go on your way. And what are you doing about it?
Are you crazy? That was exchange muscle. When they hear about this, they'll come back a dozen strong and tear you limb from limb.
Good. You gonna thank me?
Thank you? They'll be after me worse than ever. I'm laying low for a while. Maybe they'll forget about me.
Oh, you're an ass.
Well, I guess the Jedi Code is still alive and well.
Anyone in need deserves our help if we're able.
If you say so, I'm not sure I believe it. There's a lot of people who need help in the galaxy. If we stop to help each one, the Sith are gonna be on us faster than anything. Let's just accomplish our mission first, then worry about everyone else.
But we need XP. Goes to the docks, won't be going there. Yep. This lead. Right. That in a second. How did it still trigger? He looks dead. I'm good. Hey, Code. What are you trading? Let me see what you're selling. Processor. I gave him work. Ooh. That's 28,000. Master Metro. That droid there seems to know what I'm talking about. How about I buy it? How about 300? Hey. Hey, buddy. Okay, Shader, really. Go. Shader. So essentially we get a renewable shield from that droid, which is actually very useful. Most likely, we'll have... it takes a while. Okay. Heyo.
Bornacinin sopa maranka wongo kumbiaste. Tonga buga shamizanini chonkai chiteraritza sabata.
You are the owner of this...
Tiumpe, dove punta crita gino muleranni bono.
I meet you, sir.
Chiret korangata in kuntanga waikerevo tawa. Yatoka ulwan.
Air Harso.
Kavadumpa munsuro kupla liyawa. Bo bagaragawanda yaitua ulwan jiuma.
Okay.
Bornachi.
I don't want to ask, is he okay?
Dovre kun mwili.
Okay. You.
Malampas tarawando krimo gawan. Kurmaka trakta vashambash. Joroka komoshi. Juto monshi.
Hi.
Jona yurturangachi we ita?
Thinking of racing.
Bani sokokran. Joka mata storch ban.
Why is it not?
Jun soba me rapa. No kuma randisa mak chiksa. Kucha bak ton kinka mata kata. Chopa wanga.
The droid.
Mogachi nota harempe wanachi. Drumpaba nakares magre. Kavadumpa dahupo botenyo gojucho picha. Gwem tabani sochu. Norotoga proto lalashishi. Juba dosa jibacha. Ratak mansan. Tokosha na chitolo.
So we built a droid to win rate.
Takam tuchis miku mogo graba? Kechichul ida hodanga. Mi paden. Tuning tachu kun nibes. Kavadumba ku.
Droid would be a formidable opponent.
Statement. Our frames are designed to withstand considerably more trauma than you meatbags.
How can I?
Kavadumpe masuraku popayi botenya tachimurota kamsa javasko bosabjok rijiso karvenokso mochito.
Meaning he scared away all the competition.
Krech mizoto minaka de sama krema krach vituto vakaraze zom mama potaka chibintano vereka chocha here.
How do I beat it?
Krema nanga kashmun rekacho.
Speak?
Kawanabota tagwa kankadira. Yutaka alwanji yumaliba. Tues kavadumpe masuraku popayi boten.
Go on.
Mogachi nota harempe wanachi. Drumpaba nakares magre. Kavadumpa ku papayi.
What should I do?
Kavadumpe masuraku popayi botenya.
What good will that do?
Manansa kapuna wasiro toke. Ni juva mari.
Okay. Great. What are the codes?
Kawanabota tagwa kankadira. Yutaka alwanji yumaliba. Tues mahawika si wawanta mo guika wansoba.
I have a high security and computer skill.
Kavadumpe masuraku popayi botenya tachimurota kamsa javasko.
Okay. But first, we're gonna loot. Is what not beautiful? Why do you say that? Why is that? How is your hope gone when it sounds like you got a solid? Perhaps you're not approaching the situation from the direction. Okay. I had a nap before I got on, and I'm so goddamn tired. Peter, so let's Grid Central. I'll swoop. Ram. Okay. I don't know, I came running when I heard the explosion. Your droid exploded. Perhaps someone can buy the gallery from you. Conveniently, there's someone outside that wanted to purchase it. I got dark side points for that?
Botenyo go jucho picha, gwen tabani sochu, norotoga protolala, kavadumpe masuraku, popayi botenya,
2,000 credits. I'll take it. Okay, now we're gonna talk to merchants. Yeah, okay, he has good stuff. I got you. I don't see any customers waiting.
Tu es rectonatada beer mabar chokto. Torenibu inturata sisi me burokra.
Calm down, I just said I don't see any cup.
Bo mababe want to susintu mukarata. Tu es rectonatada beer mabar chokto. Torenibu inturata sisi me burokra. Teranamo sibu indasarans.
Good chef. Elshay. Defense 5, max 4, cost 5,000. Is fortitude. Actually not bad. Combat suit, medium armor. Okay, what I'm looking for. Blasters that I don't think he has. +1. Don't have it. I find very interesting. However, we will buy this though. Sell list. Off a bunch. Definitely don't. Yeah, vibro cutters we don't. Onyx we can get rid of. Too much. Try to counteract the fact. Okay, he has a problem with female Rhodian ovary. You look, hey, you look good. Okay. Oh no, the blast. Okay. There's an entirely possible chance that either of these guys would have a Mandalorian Ripper. No, micropulses are random. Zabrak heavy blasters are more common than Rippers, but essentially there's a chance that one of them would appear here. The only other one that you can get from a merchant, which is guaranteed, is Kexon Duxon, which we have not gone there yet, obviously. But I was hoping to find one a little bit sooner, but I think instead of going to Korriban after Nar Shaddaa, we'll probably have to go to Duxon next, because I really want that blaster. It'll make the rest of the game a lot easier if we can get a another Ripper. Of course, disintegrators are the best in the game. I'm trying not to use cheats and save editors on this one. Really want to head to the docks next? Yeah, I kind of do. But actually, it's 11 o'clock here, guys. I'm really tired, so instead I'm going to hop off now, and I will stream tomorrow at some point. I have something to do at noon or just after lunch, so there could be a morning stream for a few hours, which is possible. And then I'd stream again in the evening, but guaranteed I'll stream again tomorrow night. But for now, I'm gonna probably head to bed.